Hi, everybody. So welcome to the webinar. We're here, Wall Street Breakdown. 1 minute still to start. I'm going to see over here a few traders to join. Thanks for joining us. Let me know also if you can hear me good. So as you know, I'm Joseph. I live over here in Italy. I created this webinar in this YouTube channel with intention to simply help traders to become consistent. I've been trading for over 25 years. I've been trading small caps only the last 6 years, but I made my living before having a trading room on stocks, futures, options, and cover warrants. So trading is something that belongs to me because I started when I was 19 years old and I passed everything in trading. I traded Forex, I traded crypto. On some things I was not profitable, on some things I was very profitable. I share my first 2 years, actually almost 3 years of trading, where I went over 500K. Then I passed the 7 figures trading Italian equities and cover warrants. That was simply something that changed my life. But I'm here to give you something. I'm here to help traders. I'm here to help people. So that's the reason why I'm doing these webinars. Just last year, I just want to tell you this, and then we'll start with the trading lesson of today. I had over here almost 140 traders. Sometimes they were coming 3, 5, 10 people at a time, or even one person at a time. They could stay over here with me in my office. I have a trading room. Now we have like 5 tables of monitors where we can trade together. We mentor, we have lessons. We live together because we always eat together here. Or some people like to join the gym, come to do meditation, a little bit of mindfulness with me. So it's an amazing experience to trade and stay with traders because they can simply share with me, okay, the same passion. Just 1 second, because I want to share also the link over here with some friends over here. They're asking me, so let me share this and then we'll start. All right, so first of all, what are we going to talk about today? I made an agenda, okay, because I want to simply point out the things over here. The first thing today I want to talk about is what is the JLines system. So it's a repeatable system, okay? It's a strategy that is based on patterns, okay? It's based on fibs, so Fibonacci code, and it's repeatable and it's profitable and it's happening every single day. Being that you trade Forex, being that you trade crypto, like I trade Bitcoin, or you trade stocks, okay? So you will see these patterns happening every single day. I made free lessons on YouTube where you can simply watch them and understand how to trade. And now we made a trading system. It's not a template, it's a trading system on TradingView with different, I would say, indicators. We build like a bot with it so that the system tells you which setup to trade and which is the entry, exit, and stop loss, okay? But first you have to know the price action. You have to know the order flow. You have to know I would say the PA, okay, how the market moves. If you hear a little bit of noise, it's my toy poodle. It's a little bit like sad because my wife is in the States. She went for our father passing away this week. So what I want to tell you is that we're going to start right now. And if you have charts that you want to discuss together or that you want I go over, send me over to me. You have my email, team@JTrader.co. Or you simply, if you have Discord, you can simply reach out to Discord and look for JTrader. All right, let's start over here. So this is my screen, okay? In this case, you can see how I set it up. Down here, I have the hourly chart. Up here, I have the 15-minute. And over here, I have the 5 minutes. So everybody almost knows more or less how I use it. Let's look at this hourly chart. So hourly, very easy. We have 2 major things over here that we want to focus on. One is the color of the candles, okay? So the color of the candle in this case is blue. So it means that I'm looking for a longer play. And when they turn into red, I'm looking for a short play. There are going to be some exceptions, but in the majority of the cases that. So as soon as you see the stock or the future or the asset you trade. You simply know what to trade. The second thing I wanted to make is so simple that even if you don't know how to trade, you will understand the system and how to take the trades. So these bands, okay, just look over here, the major band. In this case, we're going to talk about this. This is your way to go. So whenever this is blue, so the price is building and bouncing from this blue, like over here, like over here, like over here, then we're going to stay for the long play. You can see over here, right? So at this point, this point over here. So this is for the long play. Once we shift, okay, so we have our trend line break up here. And then what happens? We're having the color of the candles over here turning to red. Now we're looking for short plays. I started to do this because I wanted something so simple that when I follow 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 stocks at the same time, I'm able to recognize right away the setup that I want to trade. The system down here, now I made it like very small. It tells me which setup, the forecast, and more other things. So this is the first thing. So I'm looking for the hourly chart. This is my first way to go. The second way to go is I start looking at the lower time frame, 50 minutes and 5-minute chart. And now we'll discuss together how to take these trades. For example, we had over here a play on a 1-minute chart and a 5-minute chart, but we're going to look into the 5 minutes. So this was ASST. ASST is a stock in a small cap land. We're going to talk about small caps, large caps, and futures. When I say large cap, it also means also options. And in this case, we see that this is 4 o'clock. So over here, the price opens, okay? And we have this major dip. We're going to discuss some also live trades. This is a trade from a trader in our room. He likes the longs. We had this dip, start pushing. So you can see that the trader right away over here bought over here the gate. So the system was saying long, okay, from the after hours over here. It dipped over here, 4 o'clock. So when the market opened so very early, and over here gave us a long play. And this trade went from around 360 all the way up to 560. So all this move over here. Once we have the color over here of the candle shifting to, I would say, a light blue. So it happens what? That we have a trend line break. So shift to this color, faded blue. You can exit over here position, at least half of your position, and then you can simply start looking if we have other plays to take along. What happened next? At the gate over here, we have another play. So this is 920, 925. This is 930. It is exactly 930 point over here. So I'm going to make a little bit like bigger. This 930 point. So when the market opens, we have a dip. It pushes up back up. And at this point, okay, this is the point that you want to simply start looking for longing, okay? This around 550, 560, with the stop over here, just below this point. In this case, the trade goes almost for $1. And that is exactly what you need to look for. So you don't need to look, take sometimes stay in 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. We are day traders. Some trades will last like maybe 4 hours, even a day or two. Some trades last maybe like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the most, okay? So this was a good trade. We make a higher low, we fade the higher low, you can get out partial position, and you get out. But then the market continues over here. And you can see that back, the system over here gives another long. So again, we can start taking a long play over here. It pulls back over here, we take a long. So what I do in these cases, once we are around 10:15, okay, so generally after 10 o'clock, and we're holding the pre-market high, okay, in this case, we are breaking the pre-market high at this level, then I'm starting to put over here my long entries, okay, as soon as I see this reclaim on the JLines. So what I see the price giving a trend line break, and we'll see the same examples on today, for example, on NQ, or yesterday on Tesla. This becomes my long play. I set the stop below, the system is triggering over here long, and again, I have a set risk down here, and then I'm taking the long play, And again, I'm looking for each bar making higher lows until over here, we'll take partial profit. And then I can simply trail with the JLines. Again, another long, and so on. So when the market is strong, try to look into hold for these major long positions, okay? And stay for these long plays. You don't have always to short. That's a major point. This is the first talk of the day. If you have question about it, let me know that we can review together, okay? This is ASST. During these weeks, we had a lot of long plays. Small caps, large caps, the market is totally bullish, so I wouldn't really look for shorting large caps at all. I want to go over 1 second YAC. This is not the small cap, then we're going to go in large caps. And show you these moves are really, they're really like amazing, okay? So we are here, this was the 12th of May, so a few days ago. And we saw during that morning over here, the push, okay? The price came down, over here form an inside bar, and you can see the system over here is written reverse, okay? This is a long play, exactly in this bar. So this is my chart, what you see over here on the left. A trade over here says thanks for alert J because he entered. This is 11 my time, like 11:15 my time. Is actually like 5:15 my time, 5:15 in New York time. As you know, I'm 6 hours ahead. And once we had the pullback, I started taking the long and I got out over here. Okay, so what I did is I take a long over here and I got out. But then I saw this curl, okay, this cup. And whenever I see these cup plays, this was a beautiful play for me. I started longing over here with size. That day, I got this into the 5:30. I started selling over here in the 6:15, 6:20. And then we had a little bit of pullback into the 6. I was doing 6 inches risk, and it came over here 850. So almost 60-70% return, you know, with the last part of shares. And this happened in pre-market in about 60 minutes of work, and you can simply have a return like about 60, 70, even 80%. Some of the stocks we play, they were for 100% plays, okay? So this is the power of here of the JLines. These setups are repetitive. They almost happen every single day, being they trade futures, large caps. You can use them for Forex or for many others. When the price over here becomes red, you start looking for a short. But let's move on and let's start looking yesterday and today plays in the market. So this, first of all, is 2 days ago. This was the 13th. We have to analyze over here the trend. So I'm looking at the hourly, and this is my hourly chart. So I start looking at this, and the first thing that I look, as I said before, is the trend over here is bullish, okay? So these are called JLines. And I explain how to set these, as I said, in the free video that I have, okay? So these are the JLines. The second thing is that if the candles are blue, you stay for the long side, okay? So you don't want to trade anything else. This band over here, this is a 9 and 20, and this over here is a 72 and 89, exponential moving average, right? So to enter over here, like some of the guys that are following. The second thing is what? Is I'm looking for bull flags or curls in order to get in. You simply want to look for the market continuation. You want to look for a market reversal, okay? So look always for the market continuation. In this case, you can see that we're cupping over here, we're cupping over here. Okay, so I know that. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm starting to look into the 15-minute chart, which is the chart up here. You can see everything is green as well. Over here, we have a breakout. And that is my first trade, okay? The first arrow that you see, okay? This is the market when it opens, 9:30. At 9:30, you can see the candles over here are faded blue, okay? So they are like this faded blue. And just look over here. This is a 5. It fades, it fades, it fails. The first system over here is telling me possible reversal, okay? The system in 940 tells me possible reversal. This is a live. The same thing that I screen share every single day. So today, for example, I was trading pre-market. We had a decent day. in pre-market. And I share these plays to show the traders exactly what to do. So I shared what I made. I shared the setup. I shared the process, because for me it's important that you learn the process, being that you trade with 50 shares or that you trade with 5,000 shares. So this tells me, okay, what's up, because it can be a long. On this close over here, okay, I had a confirmation, and it was a long play. Sometimes I go down to the 1 minute chart just to give me, like, the better timing. But over here I had a long confirmation. We took the long, came over here, we got long at 321, 321.30, and partial out over here, we got a 325. It pulled back, and you can see that for many hours over here, for about 2 hours, the price was not fading the support. So we were staying on this support all morning. And when I see this long consolidation, I remember Wyckoff, like accumulation, because this is not a distribution. How we know? Well, the price was dipping and pushing, and was getting very, very tight. So at a certain point, a price has to move in one of the two ways. And I was looking at this volume over here. Once this volume started to increase and break over here, where you see this arrow, the system gave me the long. And I simply have to wait that. Of course, I have a long over here, I have a long over here, but I'm not entering because of the consolidation. On this break, I have the long play. So on the second arrow, 12.35. And then that's a time, 12.35, that I don't really like to trade. But the system started giving me that. Look over here below. On the hourly chart, this is the entry. This bar that you see over here, okay? This is the bar that gives me the entry hourly chart. So I have that confirmation. And then you can see how it moves and stays above these clouds. Actually bands. And then on the 50-minute chart, this is the entry. And you can see that just the bar before, the system tells me long. Okay? Long on the break. This is your entry. And then each bar starts making a higher low. So this is the move that we took that night. And I remember because I put the alert out in the free Telegram room. Okay, so if you want to join, free Telegram room is a room where I gave the watch list. We have around 200 traders. It's free. Set the watch list before the open. And I was giving this alert that day. In the trading room, so in Discord, in the screen share, you can see me trade, explain the process, and learn. Because you have to be tired at a certain point to follow alerts, right? You want to know and trade independently. You want to know how to do the things. You're here to maybe change your job, have an extra income, or do something more in your life. And you want to become something, you feel like useful, you feel like profitable, you feel like you're doing something for you and your family. And that is the long play we took. Again, we took the 320, and the day after, I remember there was Bus in the room, and it was saying, hey guys, you know what, 340, pre-market is already 340. Bus is a good, very good swing trader and also a friend. He's from California, from San Diego. And over here, we got 340 pre-market. So we were up 20 points. Of course, personally, I won't take all the 20 points and not sell them at all, because maybe after hours, Trump comes out or Elon comes out with the news, boom, this crashes like 10, 15, 20 points or more. So I like to lock in every 5 points a little bit. Of course, if you only swing big, then hourly chart, 15-minute chart, then you stay in. But this is exactly how it went. And then the morning after, okay, so yesterday morning, it was so choppy, and now we'll explain how to trade in a trading range. And I remember that I was saying, traders, calm, don't push it. I didn't take any trades over here. I was explaining this in the room. And I was saying it's very different, the price action from yesterday versus the day before. So careful, guys. And at a certain point, I start seeing NQES, so SPY, actually QQQ and SPY, the ETFs, and the futures breaking out. And I was looking over here. Well, this bar is still red. I was saying, I don't want to enter over here. It's like a little bit anticipating. I was going down to the 1 minute. I said, it's 11 o'clock. Let's have a little bit of patience. Let's follow the system, because the system will give me my I would say, my timing of entry. Okay, I waited. This bar completed 5 minutes. Everything was going up. Some traders were already in. And I didn't have trades on these caps over here for the morning. So, you want to make money, right? Yes, I have a room, but I want to make money. I'm first a trader. I did this for my life, and I want to mentor traders, show them the trades, and help them in the process. And then I made this inside bar. And this is a hammer. And then I said, okay, now we're starting to set up. Because the 1 minute was already setting up like with a cup pattern and a flag. And I saw this, exactly this point, around 343, 343.50, it triggered long. When it came long, boom. Sorry, buddy. My dog got scared. So we got long over here. I set the risk over here just below this micro support. So 343, we were risking like 1.5 points. Boom. It came up over here 6 points in about 10 minutes. So what you can do over here, this was around 11:40, 11:50. You can take also the options. So the option, or you can take TSLL. So you take the ETF TSLL, it's going to cost like 1/6 of it, more or less. So you pay like 70, 80, 90 bucks, okay, whatsoever. Or you take Tesla, or you take the options. Option, for example, you can buy an option, depends on the contract and the expiration and everything, but you will pay, let's say, 500 bucks or 1,000 bucks for one contract. And you can make 20, 30, 40% return in a good morning, or even more sometimes. And then over here, so we had our good play. You can see the laterality of lunchtime, all right? So when I see this, what I do, I start putting my supports. So this is the last support. Actually, this is a resistance, but it became my last support, right? From here, this peak. This was the peak of the morning. So as soon as I saw this breakdown, okay, I know it's done. And then over here, it's been sideways, sideways, sideways. And this morning, it came down, okay? Now, we have to know that this is not only moved by Tesla itself, but there are a lot of news regarding this. There's news that, first of all, is macroeconomic. So according to the government, these days, Trump is, for example, in the Middle East. He has like a meeting with the Saudi, meeting with Jordan, and many others. Then there's also the news about Tesla coming out with a robot. I don't remember what it was called, but I put a video. It's so cool. And what a friend told me yesterday, this is just not a car. Tesla's just not a car. It's true. It's everything there is like more than that. And that's why I believe, thankfully to this friend, that this company is really still a long way to go before we actually hit the real price of the company. Okay? And today, I was watching this, and a trader asked me, Jay, can I short today Tesla? And I told him, well, let's look over here. I said, this is the trend. Okay? This is the trend hourly. So over here we are, the 22nd of April of this year. So the trend is basically is uptrending, okay? Over here there's some laterality, but it's uptrending. So I said, I don't want to enter in this bullish market where we have a break of 22,000 on NQ, a break on the daily and weekly of the ES, so the spot. I don't want to enter short. I want to stay with the market. So unless I scalp, unless I will look, for some similar small scalp, I'm not going to trade short on Tesla. And I'm only looking for long plays. What happened over here? Again, we're looking at the 5 minutes. He gave over here a scalp, came down. On the scalp, you can see that the system over here printed short on this bar, and it failed. The system over here printed short on this one. You can see this bar over here is not color red. So you have 50% that will go, and it didn't. And then over here, this bar printed all red. And this is the confirmation that it went. If I go down to the 1 minute chart, I'm sorry. If I go down to the 1 minute chart, we can see over here, like dissecting that 5 minutes, okay, is this. So we have the breakdown. It failed over here, but that's a lot of scalping. I mean, personally, I like to get the bigger moves. personally, I believe that these trades are worth if there's like a huge momentum and follow through, and only if, for example, there's a good long play. Otherwise, I wouldn't be looking to short the market right now. Okay, so that was my play to stay for the long. And I didn't take trades this morning on Tesla. I took one trade and I shared in the room, and I took a break even. And then over here, you see the bars finally becoming blue. ES and NQ are pushing, SPY and QQ are pushing, are becoming blue. The system is triggering over here along. We have our first trendline break of the day over here. This is the long play. It dips to the JLines and it starts pushing. I still don't believe too much on this move, but I believe in Tesla in the long term. And instead, look what happened over here in ES and NQ. I mean, this was amazing, because in the morning, first of all, I had a huge downtrend, and that's why I say NQ. I mean, guys, you want to trade and make a little bit of money even when you have no plays in the small cap land. This stuff is the stuff that I grew up with, okay? And I was mentoring traders in futures and in Italian equities. Also, if you want to see me, I will be in Rimini on the 23rd. They're going to be like stock market Italy, some broker Italy. They're going to be like even television and everything. So it's going to be cool. We're going to make a webinar of live trading with John Hoffman or Tom Hoffman. Sorry, I may have forgot. He's a stock trading championship. So on the 23rd in Rimini in Italy. And many of the people that come over here were people at the time, 25 years ago, that were trading in the same environment me, or that we were trading together. And we were doing futures at that time, mainly FIB, so Italian futures, DAX, some ES, some NQ, some FTSE, so the UK, okay, the English futures. But those setups of curl breakouts, retest are the same setup that we trade right now. So the market really didn't change that much if you're looking at the patterns. Now, there are more algorithms. From 2008, the market simply changed. I believe 2008, 2010, something really changed. The coming of the algorithms of the hedge funds simply destroyed the retail trader and made it such more difficult for him, okay? So the retail trader had to become more evolved with the bots, with algos, making the system more systematic and not too much discretionary if you want to survive. And one of the plays that I remember I was trading always was like in the morning dips, okay, in a bullish uptrend. So it's like a loading over here. Is like over here in this zone, the price is starting to load. And once we have this push to the upside, that is exactly where I want to enter. This is my load, you know. It's like perfect reversal bar. This pattern over here, these three bars are called morning star, okay? Evening star if it's the opposite, it's a morning star or reversal pattern. And then I start looking for these cup pattern, these longs. So all these are beautiful place to take the long. You have a set risk over here, the JLines. That was an amazing play. I wasn't able to take this. I was preparing for the webinar today. So hope you enjoy it. If you have questions, reach out. As I said, I'm doing this because I want to make traders profitable. I want to help traders to become successful. That's the main goal. Today we also had Baba. There's a stock that I was looking because I like to trade earnings. I didn't personally trade it because I saw it late, and I really missed a good opportunity. But I want to explain how the setup works, so that who follows us can learn something today. This is an uptrend. So you can see this is on the hourly chart. We are at the 22nd of April, always at 22nd. So the market simply start like bouncing. We have what we call over here a channel. So you can see the price, support, resistance, support, resistance, support. And when you are in this channel, okay, you understand already from the second bounce, there's only one way to trade. So or you start buying dips over here, or you start shorting when we are at the resistance. But if the market is still not dipping and bouncing like over here, don't start to get long, because you will buy, how they say, a falling knife. Okay, so you only buy these when the market is showing you. And then we can go down to the 50-minute chart. We have the earnings over here. So earnings beat. This is the moment that we had the earnings early pre-market, 5:30 this morning, broke of that support. It came all the way down over here. It got to the JLines this morning, exactly into the 840, 845, 855 down here. And then it triggered a short setup. So the 50 minutes I use are very good to see the patterns. And I see the first short over here. So that is the first short that I had this morning on a bigger picture that told me this was a potential trade. And this was 9 o'clock, 30 minutes before the open. Well, what I do next, or what you have to do next, you simply start looking for the breakdown to enter. Personally, I like to use Bookmap a lot. That's a tool that I use like since I think 7-8 years already. And I start looking for what I call over here the bearish mode. So I have the JLines 1 below the 3 below the 5, get down play below already JLines. Everything is there. So once we have the price, there we go, breaking down over here, 9:15 on the 15-minute chart, 9:15 gives me a short. 9:20 over here gives me another confirmation of the short. You can start taking the play. 9:30, what it does, drops. And then it makes a bear flag over here. Okay, so you want to look for these continuations. And I like these continuations to see them also in the 1-minute chart. And then you can see that it goes all the way down. So this is a move that goes from 127 down to the 123. And it's still going down today. So about a really bad day for the company. This is on the 1-minute chart. This is the moment that we start having, you can see over here the JLines breakdown. This is the open over here. This 9:30 washed, pull back. This is our bear flag. Pull back, JLines again, another trend line break that we can see over here. And this is still a continuation to the short side. So when I see this kind of patterns, I want to stay short. Okay. Let's go into the next chart. Let's see if you have any questions over here. Okay. So by the way, traders, for everybody, we have a special promo over here. Just look into the offers. So we have $50 for 2 weeks. So you want to try the room, you want to see what we do, how we trade, and then a year for price yearly. This is something super incredible. Again, for $9.49. So if you want to trade with us, we give the course, the trading room, the screen share, a team with great moderators, webinars every week, and that's all year for $9.49 a year. Okay, so we're giving like 40% discount. There's also lifetime, so reach out in private for who wants to do lifetime and stay with us. Okay, let's look for the last stock. We are looking at NVIDIA, and I want to share something instead. When the trade over here becomes top, so when you don't have to take any trade, and we're going to look into the 5-minute chart again. So this is 9:30 here. The price opens, it flushes, and then again, we had this breakdown. So ideally, you can start looking for short play if this was below the hourly JLine, if this was below yesterday low, if this was on a bearish market, but the market is totally bullish. So if we trade over here, yeah, maybe you're going to make like 50 cents, break even, a small stop, but you're going to make nothing. Okay, could have even had unwinded this. But the point is we are in a bullish market, so try to stay bullish. And then the next thing is to look what the futures are doing and the ETFs are doing, and that is the trend break. The trend break, start to see over here how it moves. You can see the volume picking up, and then that's your long play. And now we have the break of the pre-market high. Following what? Look over here. Following this, that's the buy alert from the system, and that's how going up. Okay. So this is, well, we touched 35 minutes. This is our recap of the things we did like today and these days. If you have any questions, traders, you want us to review some charts together with me, feel free to reach out. Well, thank you for following. Thank you very much. So yes, this will be uploaded on YouTube. Okay, so on YouTube, you can look into the description. There will be 2 links. One link will be to join the free Telegram room. As I said, we give there every single morning before the market opens a watch list of the stocks, the futures, the cryptos that we will be trading or investing on. For instead trading with us, then is the JTrader room. So where you have our moderators, live streaming, the chat, and that's every single day. For that, you have a 40% discount. So it's going to be written over there in the description on YouTube. All right, guys. So thank you very much for following us. I'm going to be back in the trading room. Still like 30 minutes to go. It was a good day. And thank you for following us. As I said, leave a description if you want to subscribe. Click on alerts. So next time you will be notified when a new video is coming out, and see you in the room. Good trading.